Good morning to all. First of all, I welcome the today resource person Dr. P. Manopaul, an excellent resource person and a rich experience. He also completed a PhD under my guidance. Now I call to know.
Hi.
Oh, now I call to know for inviting our resource person.
Very good morning to you, one and all present here. I am very glad to introduce the today's first session resource person, Dr. Manopaul sir. Our resource person, Dr. Manopaul, is an associate professor in the Department of Information Technology, Alliance College of Engineering and Design, Alliance University, Bangalore, Karnataka. He holds a bachelor's degree in Information Technology from Nurul Islam College of Engineering, Manonmaniam Sundarnar University, Kanyakumari District, Tamil Nadu in 2002, and obtained his Master of Engineering in Computer Science and Engineering from University Department Manonmaniam Sundarnar University in the year 2005. He completed his Doctor of Philosophy from Anna University, Chennai, Tamil Nadu in 2018. Dr. P. Manopal also has 17 years of work experience in engineering colleges and universities across India. He has presented and published papers in national and international conferences and journals. He has published 12 international journals and several conference publications. He also contributed as resource person in FDPs. He attended several workshops and seminars during his career. His research interests include cybersecurity, machine learning, data science, big data analytics, and AI algorithms. We welcome you, sir, for this session.
Now session is hand out to Dr. Manopaul. Manopaul? Manopaul is there. Actually. Okay, I will call him.
Yeah. Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm here only, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. I'll share my screen, sir. Yes, sir. Whether is it visible, sir? Whether it's visible? Screen is visible, sir?
Yes,
Screen
sir.
is visible.
Yes.
Your presentation.
Yes. That I will answer.
Yes. Visible.
Visible, no, sir? Yes.
Yes.
So, good morning to one and all present here. So, I welcome all the participants as well as I thank the organizer, my beloved professor, senior professor, Dr. Ravi sir from FX College of Engineering. So, really, I'm very thankful to you, sir, for giving an opportunity to present on the topic, based on introduction to statistical data over the data science. So, today, we are going to discuss. I'm going to discuss about some statistical data with Python coding. Also, parallelly, if possible, I'll be telling about this R program also. So first, in my presentation, I'm going to present the topic related to the general statistical data. This is just an introduction about that, but I will give some preview about the other data also. That means what are the different levels of data available. So whenever you are discussing about this data science, not only individual data will be present, but also continuous data will be present. The data may not be a discrete, it may be a general data, either a discrete data or a continuous data. How to identify all those data, how to do the code, for all those data, everything I'll be just sharing over my experience over here. Now, today's topic is introduction to statistical data. So I'm going to, we are going to see about, mean, variance, standard deviation, covariance, median, what's this mode, what will be the correlation, all those information I'm going to brief you. First, we are going to discuss about the mean, arithmetic mean. What is the mean? Normally we know, okay, mean is just like an average of information. So normally how will you calculate this mean? So the formula for the general methodology of mean will be what is that? Summation of x divided by n. What will be x? The summation of all the data divided by how many data it's present. So in my today's class, I'm just going to brief you about what will be the normal code and what will be the Python function. Both I'm going to brief you. So first one, I'm going to discuss about this mean information with an example. Let us assume that in an office, or let us assume that we are everyone working in a engineering colleges or corporates, etc. So we will be drawing some income. So how to find out this mean? The general idea about this mean. Normally, we will calculate this mean with, for example, let us assume five
Yeah.
persons are the first person. It's getting the amount of 25,000 salary or
Sir,
40,000.
Excuse me.
sir,
Excuse me.
sir,
Tell
Uh,
me, sir.
can you maximize the screen?
maximize.
Okay.
Maximize.
Yeah,
F5.
yeah. I want to
Yes, sir,
maximize.
slide
Yes, yes.
two. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Voice,
I will do. I will do.
voice,
No
I
problem.
think Manopal. Voice, I
Sir,
think are very close. I think some small echo will come. I think so. I
Yes,
think
sir.
so.
There's an echo. There's some background,
Uh,
sound pollution.
okay.
okay. No, actually here no other no class
Thank you.
going, and separately in my office and individually it was there.
I think you are in the university. No problem for internet.
Yes,
Everything. I think.
yes,
I
yes,
think.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But
I'm in
voice is
university only.
more audible. Voice is more audible.
Okay,
Okay. You
okay. Shall
continue.
I
Okay.
reduce my voice, sir? You will be giving earlier guidance
Okay.
about.
Okay. 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 Now voice is good. Good.
Okay,
You
good to know,
continue.
sir.
Continue.
Sir,
Continue.
actually, why I'm not making this full screen is parallelly I will be showing about the execution of Python also. That is what.
Oh.
Okay. So that time I will just shift over there. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So let us assume we will be having some five people information. That means just a salary. So we will be just making the summation, and the summation divided by the total number of person will give the entire salary of those information. So let us assume the Python code will be like this. So in Python code, we can create the function also. How to create the function? Normally we know how to access the value. Directly, if you access the value, print of x equal to 10. If I assign x equal to 10 and print of x means, directly it will print the value. How to create the function, that may also we know. Okay, so this is just a Python code for how to create the mean by our own. So I will be giving the statistical also, how statistically how the Python code was created. Okay, in Python, that means statistical function of Python. I will tell you. Now, first it was created the function as def. It is the definition with the function name of values. What are the values we will be passing here? So now, what is our concept? Mean will be calculated based on summation of all the values, not only one value. All the whatever value was passed within the function, that summation, okay, divided by the total number of n value. How will you find out the n value? Sometimes the data may be point, that means the decimal precision data. That time you should use divided by in C program and all. We may be studied about that. So whenever we want to find the correct value, exact decimal precision, we will use by divided by 5.0, etc. That is what we used here. Float of length of values. So how many values you use and what will be the length? The summation divided by length. That is the direct function I use. Normally, the concept of function is to return a value. So here also we are returning.
Manopal.
Hello, sir.
Manopal, reduce the voice. I think echo is coming, or echo, or your mic must be something in some distance between your mouth and your mic. You keep like this and continue. You are an excellent presenter. I know that. You correct it. Okay.
No, it's okay, sir. I'll reduce the.
Okay. 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 Something reduce the voice. I think echo coming, but in the university it is not possible. Okay,
sir.
you check. You check. You check.
I lower my voice, sir. Sure.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So the function was used as the mean. It is just the name of the function. I just created as mean, and just we are passing the value. Now I'm going to give the data set. You see here, the data set was given like this. Data set equal to 25,000, 15, 40,000, 25, etc. Normally, multiple array was used here as the data type. See, I can use it from CSV, comma separated value file, or any Excel file. I bring out the value, no problem. But just I given the data set as that is multiple array. That means so many arrays within a single dimensional array. Okay, so multi-dimensional array I can tell. Okay, that information I'm using in the data set. Later I will go about how to fetch the data with the CSV data. And here I just use the data as multiple array. Okay, so here first array, each array I'm having two values, 25,000, 15. Let us assume 15 maybe, maybe weight of the person. Okay, let us assume, or some age of the person. Let us assume like the age of the person. So 15 years itself, he is earning 25,000. 25 years, he is earning such, some amount, etc. I given. Now, if I am printing the data set, what value will be printed? Same value will be printed. I am not using any data format here. We will see data format, next level. But just, just we are using about the data set, okay, with the 25,000, 15, etc. Some data set information we use. Now, if you want to find the mean, you see in the data set, I'm having each and every array contains two values. Now, I want to segregate each value. Well, because in the data normally, according to our data science, we will be accumulating more number of data. For example, any corporate is there, or shops is there, or any other trading is there. Generating of data, that itself a huge task. So if you are generating data with a specific format, it will be very tough to do it. That is what commonly we will be just using a comma separated value. Since I am using very less, I can use any number of data, no problem. Also, not only two levels of data, I can use 3 data within an array, 4 data within an array. Later I will tell you about that. So just I am using, for an example of the initial this one, I'm using only 2 data. Okay, one will be what is that, the salary, another one will be the age. Similarly, this one is the salary, this one will be age. How to split this data? How I am fitting this data? For the first array or the first record, I'm taking like this: row of 0. It was separated with comma. So row of 0, I'm taking for row in data set, row of 0. Okay, I'm initializing this row of 0. I'm considering as for row in data set. As a loop I'm using for the data set for each and every row of 0. Row of 0 in the sense, it is just my variable. I created this row. So each and every first element of an array, I will be putting into x value. So if I print x value, what will be printed? If I print x value, what will be printed? 25,000, 40,000, 20,000, 30,000, 35,000. All the salaries will be printed. Similarly, why I just given row of 1. So if I print this row of 1, what will be printed? Second value. So your array always starts with the base value, that is the base address 0, and next level it will be starts with 1. So row of 1 in the sense it will stored in y. So this value may be a age or any other factor you consider. So second value, next value, the second position of the array value will be stored in y. Now we need to find the mean. Generally, how will you find the mean? Normally, so 1 minute, I'll just use this code. Okay, normally if you want to find the mean, we will find the mean like this. So we will find mean underscore x equal to mean of, what is that, x. Okay, mean of x. Normally we will write like this. In C program or Java program, if you want to assign any function with the function call, okay, we will be just telling like this, a function call. If you want to make a function call, we will assign like this, So this will be the normal concept we will be doing. But in Python, there is the speciality to assign multiple values within a single variable. With not only single, multiple variable we can use, but multiple values can be assigned in Python. So how I am assigning, you see here, mean underscore x, comma, mean underscore y. Two mean I want to find. First one, mean for x, mean for y. So mean underscore x is just a variable. Similarly, mean underscore y is a variable. I am calling my function. What I created here, mean of x. So I'm passing how many values? X contains 5 values. All values I will be passing here. Similarly, mean of y. So what I'm doing, all the values of y, that is row 1, second position of the array, I'm just passing it to the mean of y. So this will return, okay, the value of that means the mean value, that is the average value, into mean of y. In statistical Python, it is possible to assign multiple values. To assign the multiple values through functions, it is possible. So now I am going to print the value. So how I am printing the value? X statistics colon mean equal to, this is just the output screen comment. Now here it states that like the C program we are using, that means percentage is, allocation, 0.3 F. What's the meaning? 0.3 precision of float values we are assigning. 0.3 precision. So 3 decimal places it will identify, and the separation. Okay, normally comma C program or Java plus we will be using in system.out or console.println, etc. We will be using, right? So here it will be percentage. Here it will be percentage of, okay, what is the variable? Mean of X. I'm just printing the variable of mean of X. So let us see the Python code, how to execute the Python code. Parallelly, I'll be telling you. Just I created this file over here. Okay, I just prepared this. After that, I created the file over here. Just I'm copying this file. Okay, otherwise here itself I can show it. Yeah. Just I'm pasting it to Python. I just created a platform about this Python, and I'm prepared about Jupyter. I'm executing in Jupyter. Just I'm executing the Jupyter. While I'm executing Jupyter, what will happen? If I executed the value, so initially I'm printing the data set. Initially, I'm printing the data set. The basic data set was printed. You are seeing here the basic data set was printed. After that, I am allocating the X value and Y value. Now I am allocating the mean value. See, instead of this mean value, I can write in other method also. Okay. So what I told, you will make a comment here for this Python, and I'm writing mean underscore X equal to mean of X. Similarly, next line. So ordinary other programs we will be writing like this, So equal to mean of Y we will be writing here. So just like that, I like ordinary programming. I'm just allocating. So now what will happen? Now before this, I'll print the value of X and Y, so you will get a good clarity. Okay, so I'm printing the value of X and printing the value of Y in the initial state itself. So now after that, I'm printing the mean. Okay, X and Y already printed. So I'll be printing the mean of values. Now you see here, what will be the value? So this is the data set. I printed the data set. Next, I printed the X value, row of 0 for row in data set. That is the data set name, variable name just created. And now I printed a value of Y. Y will be segregated with a row of 1. And the statistics value of mean. What will be the mean value? I'll be using like this. Suppose if I want to change the value, sir, I don't want this value, so I'll be making like 60,000, 70,000, even okay, maybe 85,000, or here like 50,000, etc. Something I want to increase, I can check these values. I can check this value. So my that means mean value will be increased because of I increased the salary. So this value will be increased. Similarly, we know about that 3 decimal precisions was done. Okay, that will be the initial value I stated you. Next one. Through this, we can also use Python code to complete all those things. That means with the statistical function. Initially, I teach you without statistical function, and another way to implement these codes with the statistics. So built-in functions are there in statistics. If you want to have if you want to use built-in functions, how to use the same data set I used, I just copy this data information. I'll just go to Python code over there. Okay, just I'm using here, I copying these codes, and I'm just going to Python, and just I'm pasting it here. Now you see this is called the statistics, import statistics. I'm importing the statistics. Why? Because I'm not using any function. No function definition is here. You see, no return values of function is there. Directly I started with the data set. I just splitted the value mean X, mean Y. How I'm using? I have not created any functions, So directly I am using built-in function of statistics. Statistics dot mean underscore X. I'm using like this. Statistics dot mean underscore X. I'm using. Similarly, mean underscore Y. I'm using. So statistics dot mean of Y. I'm using these functions, finding the value of mean. So I print this value of Y initially, so that we can see the result. You see here. So what will be the result? Initially, I print the data set. Data set was printed here. Okay, data set was printed here. So first data set, it was here. Next, I printed the value of x separately. I printed the value of y separately. I printed the value of, that is, what is that? Mean, okay, mean underscore x. Similarly, mean underscore y. I printed all the value. So it will be fair, so it will be, that. So how it will be, calculated. And if you want to change the value, it's also possible, okay, based on the values. So next, I'm going ahead with the next one. Okay. Next one, standard deviation. See, in mean itself, different levels of mean. If time is there, surely I will tell you about you. Okay, even mean, median, mode. Okay, the different levels of values will be there. Not only discrete values, we can also use continuous values. Continuous values, what is the meaning? 0 to 10, 11 to 20, 30 to 20 to 30, 30 to 40, etc. Like this interval also we can find about the value. So we will find the midpoint. Through that we will find the value. The formula will be changed. Later I will tell you about that. Okay, what will be the value? Next one, I'm just concentrating about standard deviation. We know about the standard deviation. Let us assume we are taking 10% to check the cholesterol level of this person. Normally, I don't know about the medical report, what will be the cholesterol level. Okay, maybe assume that cholesterol level, should be 250. About 250, if it's exceeding, surely we should control, assume that. So we can check about the cholesterol level, what will be the deviation. That means a standard deviation in the sense, what will be the minimum value, what will be the maximum value people will be having, how it will be deviated. For example, in your class, if you want to check standard deviation of your students, what will check? What will be the minimum mark the student scored and what will be the maximum mark your student scored? Based on this, from the minimum, for example, your class maybe having 50 students, and the minimum marks will be out of 100 to 30, and the maximum marks will be like 80. So your deviation of marks from 30 to 80. Okay, so that will be the standard deviation. So how to use this formula? It will be summation of x square divided by 10. Now, how to find out the value of this data? How to find the value of this data? So let us assume I have taken 10% cholesterol level. I want to find out the standard deviation. So first I should find the value of the input value is x. Now I want to find out the small x. See, this input x is not the square root of x square divided by n. This x is small x. Input is capital X. This x is how to find the deviation. So first let us see what is the average of cholesterol level of these people. We need to find out. And from the average, first we need to find the mean. So average, if you want to find, we will find the mean of these values. So after finding the mean of these values, we will reduce from the input value. For example, first x 10 numbers was given. Now I find the mean of this value. That means the summation of these values. I find the summation of these values. What will be the summation? 2640. This is the summation. Now how to find out the mean? Summation divided by n. So 2640 divided by 10. So y divided by 10, 10% are there. So it will be called the mean. So what I'm doing, x minus, okay, that is the input minus the mean. 264. So what value we are getting? Minus 24. So the first person, okay, he was deviated with the 24 minus, but that means minus 24 from the normal level. Similarly, another person. So we had to find each and every people. After that, we will make an x square of these values. If we use this x square, that means small x square, not capital X, small x square, this one. So it will be x minus mean the whole square. So this x square, later, as we should square these numbers. Whenever we are squaring, this negative number becomes positive. So all the numbers become positive, and find the summation of this value. After finding this summation of this value, we will get x square. This is called x square. But our standard deviation formula, square root of summation x square. The summation, this is called the summation value, summation of small x square divided by the number 10. So what will be the value? So 2716 divided by n. So what will be the value divided by n in the sense 271.6. Okay, 0.6, 271.6. So find the square root of this value, we will get the standard deviation. Now you see here, so just I written a code for this standard deviation. So just I'll copy this code and I'll explain in Python itself. I'll just explain about this code. Okay, so how I written this code. Here also 2 levels of Python code was generated. One will be, that means normally how to calculate all those things. And second level, I'll teach you about, what is the inbuilt function of each, Python code, so that we can confirm so whether the same data is available or not. Okay. Now you see here, I use a math function. I imported a math function because of I'm using the square root function. It's must. For that, I use this math function. 3 definitions I'm writing here. Okay, one is standard. What is the mean? Another one is variance. We already known about that. Variance will be, standard deviation will be indicating by the word term called sigma, but variance will be sigma square. So the square root of variance will be called, what is that? Standard deviation. We know. So we will find, that means we'll define the function of variance also. So first define mean. This is my function name. So that means my function, this is our own function we created. It is not statistical data. Statistical in the sense we will import the statistics. Based on that, we will find the mean, standard deviation. Different functions, formulas will be there. Different functions will be there. That I will tell you. Okay, mean of values definition. So earlier in the last program also we find the mean same as it is. Now variance we want to find. What is variance? Summation of small x square divided by n. The square root of variance will be called a standard deviation, but if you are not making square root, you will be getting a variance. So variance square root will be called a standard deviation. So based on that, easily we can find out. Now variance we are calculating. What is this variance? Summation, okay, divided by the number of values. So no doubt, summation divided by the number of values. That is the length of the values, no doubt. So now in this summation, how to find the summation? That is very, very important. For finding the summation, we should use the formula x minus mean the whole square. In initial code, while 1980s, while they started, they created the code like a basic code. It will be there. Before that, since 70s to 80s, the beginners all put symbolic inspection code. Okay, that basic code. So there, if you want to make a square value, so how to make a square value? It will be star star 2. Normally, we will make it like that. Similarly, here also we will use star star 2. Otherwise, x minus mean the whole square. Otherwise, we can use the power function. Everything is same. Power of x comma mean, x minus mean comma 2. You can give the power function, or you can use x minus mean the whole square. Okay, that means the whole square star star 2 we can give. Okay, it will be also square, and otherwise we can give x minus mean into x minus mean. 2 times you can multiply, no problem at all. So this will be the value of this summation. Okay, for x in values. So what will be this input x in values? We will consider the input value from the data set. Okay, consider as x or y, whatever value I am, I'm just designating as x, whatever value I'm getting. And I'm finding the value of what I'm doing. First, I'm getting one after the other values. I'll be finding x minus mean the whole square. Second value, x minus mean the whole square. Next value, next input value, x minus mean the whole square, and finding the summation. First, it will fetch the value from here, and next it will proceed for summation. Similarly, earlier I told row of 0. Same concept was used there. In the summation, we will divide the value with its length. Okay, that will be the value we will find out for variance. And now, if we found out for variance, if I'm having variance result, if I pass into the function of standard deviation, I'll be getting the standard deviation. So how to find out the standard deviation? These are all functions. 3 functions I written. Okay, so this is one function. This is another function of standard deviation values of values. Return, just I'm using square. If I'm passing the value of variance, if I'm passing this values of variance, directly I should use the SQRT function only. So directly I will be getting the result. So return math dot, how to use the square root or power. Power means math dot POW. Square root means math dot SQRT of values. So now after writing those definition, it is not a built-in function. It is user defined function. So we are writing now data set. We are writing the data set. We are passing 2 or 3 value. Any value we can use. Okay, since 2 values is there, I'm creating 2 variables. One variable is x, another variable is y. Row of 0, row of 1 was used here for row in data set. So from data set, I'm fetching one after the other values. Now I told you earlier, okay, we can use mean underscore x equal to mean of x, and in Python there is a speciality given here. Okay, at a stretch in a single sentence we can write multiple values. We can assign multiple values. It is possible. So we are assigning mean of x, comma mean underscore y equal to mean of x, comma mean of y, etc. Similarly, variance underscore x, comma variance underscore y equal to variance of, okay, what's the value, x, comma. So in the variance, what will be the value it will be getting? Variance of x, comma values I'm passing, comma mean. What will be the mean? Mean underscore x I'm passing here. Similarly, another variance I'm passing the function 2 values, y value I'm passing, and mean underscore y value I'm passing here. Similarly, standard deviation. What is standard deviation? std_dv. This is our own function, user defined function. So we are passing here std_dv variance of x. I'm just, so it will take only one value, but variance will take 2 values. Standard deviation will take I given as input only one value. So input only one value in the sense, what's the meaning? I'm using the variance. If I pass and if I make to find the square root, I'll be getting the standard deviation. So like that, just I used here, and just I'm executing this well. Similarly, we will find the value. So let us see here. I'm just executing this value. While executing this value, so okay, what will be the value? X colon status mean equal to 300. So I'm getting the mean as 300. So for this data set value, mean as 300, and standard deviation. Yeah. Here I use the value. Yeah, standard deviation I put it here, but I used variance. Normally variance will be lesser than, standard deviation will be the will be the this one. So I used here std underscore x. std underscore x. Here it will be variance. Variance will be, so this will be standard deviation. Variance will be smaller. So this will be variance underscore y. Okay, now let us see. So what will be the value? std underscore, where is underscore? Oh, sorry. Okay, it is x. So I'll find the value. I'll run the program. Yes, you see here. Yeah, it's the exact value. So mean I'm getting, standard deviation, it is the square root of variance. So we find out the correct value. So now 70.711. This is the square root of variance. Suppose if you are doubt, you can find this value. Print of 70.711 into 70.711. Check this value. Just I'll run the Python code. Okay, and just it was giving some value, 5,000. Maybe in the decimal precision, last point, maybe it was thinking about 1099 something, it will be coming. This was a round off and make it as 11, but here it is 5,000.04, etc. It's coming, So this will be the value, exact value we will be getting there. Okay. So by this, we need to find out the values of, standard deviation as well as variance. Okay. Next, I'm going to tell you about the built-in statistics function. Okay. So if I use the built-in statistics function, 1 minute. Built-in statistics function. So what will be the value? See, in Python code, only thing you need to check is only indentation you should check. Okay, Python code needs to be checked with indentation of code. If I am writing inbuilt function, no need to use any indentation. Okay, well, first line itself will start from the end. Okay, don't want to check any tab values, etc. But suppose if we use functions, earlier you see I use functions. If I use functions, surely I will check this indentation. If I'm not making a proper indentation, values will not work. We know about that. That's the only thing we should check with the Python code. Now I use mean statistical function. Okay, and importing as numpy. Okay, so numpy will fetch the statistical function. It is just the package for statistical function we are using. Okay, as numpy, and earlier I use import statistics. directly through statistics also I can find, or through NumPy package also I can access these values. Okay, if you want to access the function, one of the package will be the NumPy package we'll be using here. Now you see here what will be the value. So just I use so a data set. Directly I use the data set. I find row of 0. I find row of 1. I find the mean of X, standard deviation, variance, all the value I found out. Similarly, I use for Y values, mean, variance, standard deviation, find the value of all, A1, B1, C1, first record. Second record, it will be first X value will be A1, B1, C1, second value. Say, if you want to check the value, compare with the earlier value. So why we use statistical and this one, you check this value, whether exact value we are getting or not, you check here. This value will be like this, I can make it, smaller. It may not be visible. That's what I'm doing. For 1 minute, I will just show this value. You see here, what will be the value? I'm using 70.711. So same value we'll be getting. I will increase it. So let's see it here. Okay, yeah. So you see here, this also the same value, 14.142. It is the standard deviation for the second value. That's the age. So here also 14. Same data we are getting, So that will be the vision. Even 1 lakh data, if we are generated easily for a second itself, we can generate, those values. Even random values, if you want to generate, that also possible. Okay, through Python. Okay. Next one, I'll go ahead with the next, concept with coefficients of variation. Next concept, it is coefficient of variation. We should know about what is the coefficient of variation. For example, say we want to check about the IPL game. Who is consistent? Who is not consistent? Okay, here just I referred as like football tournament. It was given. So team A has played 15 matches. Team B played 20 matches, and they not scored anything. Now I want to compare with the team A and team B. Argentina team is good, or Spain team is good, or Indian cricket team is good, or Australian cricket team is good. I want to compare. If two data to be compared, and just if you are giving the result based on the comparison, it will be called as the covariance, otherwise called as coefficient of variance. Coefficient, it is the term used to compare two set of data with one another. So normally we will check, so whether we are good or our friends are good. We are good, our sisters are good. We are eating more quantity of food, or our friends will be eating more quantity of food. If you want to compare any level of data, okay, for example, in our class, let us take 2 students. Who will come first? If you want to check about, you just given the input data, based on this, you can attempt a prediction. This guy will win. The statement says that this guy will win. Normally, covariance, we can easily find the function. Covariance will be COV. It is the statistical function in Python. COV of X, automatically it will come. But if you want to find the covariance, what is this covariance? It is the standard deviation divided by its mean. Okay, sigma divided by X bar into 100 will give the covariance. What is the function for covariance? Sigma divided by X bar into 100 will give the covariance. Okay, so just through statistical data, I'm just going to tell you. I'll explain there the code.
Yeah, excuse me, Manopaul.
Tell me, sir.
Then and there you check the chat box. Since some are putting a voice break like that. Okay. Then and there you verify the chat box. Okay. Then okay. Okay, Manopaul, you continue. Some are.
Sound is not clear. We'll try now.
No, sir, it's clear. The problem is the recipient's network.
Maybe with the network, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. maybe. So okay, just I'll discuss about the next level of code, coefficient of variance. Just I'll copy and I will tell you, I'll explain how to calculate this covariance. This is normal method, how I calculate it. Okay, the covariance. It was given here, you see here, I am using about the math function. Why I use math function? I'm calculating about the standard deviation. Standard deviation is sigma. If I want to find the standard deviation, surely I should go for finding the math function, correct? Yes. So, our covariance, if you want to find out, covariance, if you want to find out, three things you need to find. Y of because sigma divided by x bar into 100. That will be the value. So I return the mean value. I define the variance value. I define the standard deviation value. I explained all those things. Now I'm writing covariance. What is covariance? Sir, pass the standard deviation, sir. Divided by mean, sir. You will get the covariance. Multiply by 100, sir. That's all. Very simple. So I can do the comparison. So the function directly I'm using from the function call itself. Okay, standard deviation divided by mean into 100 will give the covariance. So now I'll be giving the data set over here. What will be the data set? Equal to 15, 20. So 10, 10, 7, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 110. So like this, I created the data set. I'm finding the segregated. Already we know about that. So I'm finding the mean. You know how to find the mean. You know how to find the variance. You know how to find the standard deviation. And now I'm finding the coefficient of variance by function length. You don't want to give the function as length function. CV itself you can give coefficient of variation. So we will pass two values over there. That means standard deviation of x, mean of x, similarly standard deviation of y, mean of y. Because I want to find the covariance for these two values. After finding this covariance, we should check, okay, which function is low. Okay, which function is low, which covariance is low. That we will find. If the first function covariance is low, we should decide that will be consistent. Whenever the covariance is low, okay, that means it will be having a higher ranking. It will be having a higher ranking, meaning that that team will be coming strong. The ranking that team will be somewhat strong. So based on that, they're displaying about that, test series. This is number 1, number 2. India is number 1. Just like that, they're discussing. So team A, so if I'll be telling, suppose if the covariance of x is lower than the y value, I'll be telling team A is consistent. Okay, otherwise team B is consistent and find the values. So we will check whether it's executed. Yes. So the input value of x and y given. Team A played 15 match, team B played 20 match, even no goal, 0 goal initially. After that, 1 goal, 2 goal, 3 goal, 4 goal, etc. So how to check by shot, how I will be checking, you see how many matches they played more and they equalize. Say goal is same. 0 goal means both the team will be performing no goal. Similarly, another one, what is that? 1 goal in the sense both the team. So here you see A, this is less number. First one match, it is less number. Another match, it's equal. So you can leave. This is more number A played. This is more number A played. This is more number A played. More number A played and equalizes 0 goal. So consistent. So more number directly by seeing that itself. If you want to see in short, you can check like this, and you will be deciding what will be the covariance by comparing. These many times, even after taking these many tests, these people was getting more marks. So this time this guy will go score more marks. Like that we can check by ourselves. That will be called the covariance. Okay. Now I discuss about the covariance. Now inbuilt function of covariance. Okay. Inbuilt function of covariance. I'll just talk about the inbuilt function of covariance. I'll copy and I'll paste it here. So inbuilt function, what will be the result it's getting? inbuilt function. Now data set. I don't want to create any function by my from my own. Just like that, I can create row of 0, row of 1. So mean, standard deviation, variance, all the way. Okay, covariance not given, So D1 equal to COV of X. Okay, inbuilt function is COV. So shall I tell here D1 equal to NP dot, sorry, numpy. I should call numpy dot, So from otherwise statistical data, I should input numpy dot cov of y. I'll be using here. Now I'm finding the value. Okay, so what will be the covariance? Okay, so I can tell about the covariance of the first value with the covariance of the second value. Okay, so shall I mention like D1 and this is D2? It's alone I'm making it difference. Why? Because we should check about these values. D1, okay, less than not the earlier value, it should be D2. We'll check the value, we'll frame the value. So what will be more consistent? You check here, I'm using the function mean, standard deviation, variance, everything I find the value, everything I checked the value. Similarly, I find the covariance values also. A direct inbuilt function I use there. Okay, and now I'm using this alone. I'm making it different. We have because see in Python we know every variable, whatever variable first line, if you stored in the database, next time automatically it will fetch from the memory. It's not database, memory. Okay, within the memory of the data, like a dual, Oracle, we are talking about dual, Similarly, here from the memory, it will be bring out these values. So that's what same variable we put. So one variable will be printed immediately after that, next variable will be printed. Suppose, if I'm not printing here and if I'm printing all the values here only, what will happen? If I'm printing combinedly, if I'm printing voice data also, if I'm printing this value only will be getting wave because in the memory everything will be A1. I overwrite it. Otherwise, I should use A2, B2, C2. I should use. So since two variables I want to compare, I'm using D1 and D2 while comparing. Okay, so standard deviation, variance. Okay, everything I identified correctly. No problem. This is the square of this number will give the variance. Square of this number will give this variance. And in A is consistent. Suppose if I'm taking this value instead of this value, I'm making like this. Okay, so like team B, 8 games played. Team B, I'm increasing the factor, 9 games played. Team C, what is that? 4 games played. Now I'm checking the data. Now I'm checking the data. Okay, still A is consistent. Still A is consistent. D1 is greater than D2. Okay. Now I increase the values. I'll increase the values to 20, 30, etc. A is consistent. We'll check the value. Okay, data set. Yes, but it should come. 1 minute. I'll make so some level. So I'm checking about the variance of these values. So based on that, now B is consistent. Earlier value A is consistent. So based on updating some values, I'll be getting the value of A is consistent. So for checking the comparison between, so what we infer here for checking the comparison between these teams, we can go for covariance method. Okay, we'll go for the next method. Because time is running out. Okay, built-in function also I discussed. Now statistical data. Next, I want to teach you how to fetch the value from CSV. See, different methods are there. Read underscore CSV or Excel file. Okay, so Excel file directly. Upload Excel file also we can use. CSV in the sense we should store it as CSV file. So etc. Now, how to fetch the record as a CSV file? So I am having one CSV file. Auto-increment.csv. Let us assume that I'm having a file auto-increment dot where it is there. 1 minute, I will show you. Okay, in Python storage area, execution area, I'll create like AI and just auto insurance. This is my file. It contains two data. Okay, so one will be one of the X value, another one is Y value. Totally 63 data are there. Now, assume that this may be a number of days and this may be that is amount, how much was gone for the insurance. Insurance company was maintained. 108 cases was identified one day, and how much amount, 392, some thousands, amount in thousands has been gone. Okay, just like that. Okay, assume that. So this will be the data. So similarly, that is the number of claims per day, total amount of payment, okay, of this client in thousand, it was given. Just our CSV file, I shown the CSV file, 63 records are there. Now I need to proceed about this CSV file, how to fetch this CSV file and execute this CSV file. Whenever we want to fetch the CSV file, okay, normally we will use the function like this. I will explain that. I'm putting it to Python, I'll explain that. So okay, I'll use this data. Now you see here, I'm using some from random import seed. Okay, so from random import seed, the header I'm using here, random range I given CSV import reader. I'm using reader file, that means read the information from the local variable, that means local file, as well as mathematical. I'll import the square root from mathematical. Okay, just I'll import sqrt functions. Why? Because I will calculate some of the informations. Okay, for that reason I use. Now I'm creating a function. What will be the function? Function normally return a value. That's the concept of function. So I'm writing a function load underscore CSV. This is my own function. I'm just given a file name for this function. What is the file name for this function? It is the value of input. Okay, it will be the input I will be giving for this file name. The input of this file name is autoinsurance.csv. So for input of this function, what I'm doing, file name I'm giving autoinsurance.csv. I shown this file here, autoinsurance.csv. It is here, So this is here in my Python, that is the execution engine. It will be there. I just copied that file earlier. I'm just taking this file name autoinsurance.csv. You already seen two types of data will be there. Now data set equal to list of, okay, I'm using the function list and how I'm categorizing the data. So just you see with open with of read mode, file name, comma, read mode as file CSV underscore reader. It is just the variable name I specified equal to reader of file. So I will read one after one record, each and every record. While I'm reading, what I'm doing for row in CSV reader, while I'm reading this file, I'll be storing each and every record in the row. If not colon row, that means not in the same row. Each and every row contains how many data? Two data will be there. So if it is not in the row, let's go for the next row. Next read element, continue. What is the meaning of continue and break? Continue is used to skip a condition, and the break is used to terminate. So data set dot append of row. So adding each and every row as a data set. That is what created initially. Data set equal to list of, list of. That means it will create a list like array of informations. It will be created and return data set. What is the meaning of return data set? I print the data set. Now in the data set, what I'm doing, you see here, load underscore CSV. That is the function I created. Just I'm calling the function. Data set equal to load underscore CSV. This function, it is a user defined function with the file name. I'm just calling the function to read. See, if I am not using the function directly, I can use the function, that is the CSV reader or any other file name, directly I can use it. But just I had to read the information. I don't know what type of data it will be there. So just I'll read and I'll display the information. Now, if I print the data set, how many data will be there? Sir, 63 data set will be there. But 63 data set in Python, it will read only as string data. All 63 data in Python, it will read. Data read in Python, it will read as string data. You will see this. I'll just execute this program. Now you see here, sir, all the records, 63 records was appended, 108, 392.5, etc. It was started. The file was started like that. I just put the information here, a small snapshot here also. This is the record was started, 192, 392.119, 46.2. So whenever each and every row, it will be 22 records. So just now, if you want to process this value, it may not be possible to process. Because if it is a string, you cannot process. It will process only as a string. So what you should do, you have to strip off those string and convert as a, what is that, floating point value, or it will be an integer value. So there also in Python, we will be having a function. That function I'll be using here. You see here, what function was used here to strip off this value of string. I'm just using this function, same function. Just after appending this, again I use another function to strip off this one. So what is the function I use? Strip is the function I'll be using in Python. You see here, the first function is the same. First function, it is just the loading function. Whatever I teach you earlier, it is the same function. And second function I return. Why? Because these Python will read as string data. I want to convert this information into another information. That means convert it to what is that, number. For that reason we will use. So what will be the file name? Will be same. Earlier we used data set, will be the same data set. For I in range, length of data set of 0. Okay, that means starting from the length of data set of 0, initial data set, all the functions to be called with data set, comma I in the sense the column value. So each and every column value will be identified. So first it will identify the first column, next it will identify the other column, so etc. It will find all the values starting. This is the starting index of length. So first file, immediately first file contains 2 columns. As 2 columns will be converted to floating point number. So what is the function for floating point number? I'm using float of row of column. So row of column, y column, I'm passing the value of this one here. Which column will be proceeding? So dot strip is a function I'm using. Now if I use the data set, you see here, I stripped out all the function. Now if you want to find the mean, is it possible to find the mean? Yes. Now data set is given here. Through this data set, you can find the mean and you can find any values to access over here. Okay, this will be the concept of which one? Statistical CSV. Even input values of statistical CSV, if we are having, easily we can find the values. Next one, because of short of time, so just I'll focus about that. Next one, data frame. So you may be thinking about, is it possible to use CSV file? It's possible to use. Next, is it possible to use through data frame for generating data frame by our own? Yes, it is possible. Here through Python, all functionalities we can perform it through data frame also. That also I'll be giving an example. Okay, so just I'll copy those example and I'll giving to you. Okay, so I skipped this model because of after time 2 or 3 models was there. For this, just I'll use this data frame over there. So later I will share the file, so you may be going across. Okay, so here through finding the input of this insurance, how to find out the mean, value, covariance, etc. Already we have seen. Okay, so no problem about that. Just we will execute the next one. So now you see here, I'm just importing the data set towards the pandas, and now I'll be having a variable cart equal to, this is like a JSON file. JSON file format, we know name, value, pair information will be there. Even multiple records will be stored in a single file. It will be unstructured file format. Am I right? So structured file format we will use about tables, etc. And this JSON may be unstructured. That's what we are using in MongoDB or any other areas of unstructured data. If a data set if you want to use, we'll use. So similarly, name, value, pair information was used. It is the three names was there: product, price, and year. So product in the sense not only one product, so many products will be available in the shop: mobile, AC, furniture, sofa, laptop, etc. Amount was given. Now just I'm creating a data frame based on the data of cart. So df equal to, just I'm creating my own variable, no problem, data frame of cart. The variable assigned for the JSON file, it will be like a cart, comma, this is not a JSON file. This is just an input variable like a JSON file. Okay, otherwise .json will be the format. You may be knowing about this Visual Studio. You may be studying about that. Now columns equal to product, comma, price, comma, year. Okay, so three columns I'm creating in the data format. Later it will display about that. Now first I'm printing the format, data format. If I print the data format, what will be printed? See, if I print, what is the meaning of printing direct df and print of df? Direct df, if you print image file, it will print it. If you use print of df, it will be like what is that? Text format. It will be printed. You may be seeing earlier. See, so many applications will be there. Even mechanical industries needs lot of Python, programmers. Why? Because so many that means car vehicles. They are giving so much vibrations. Okay. So because of reducing these vibrations, they will be checking this vibration count. Okay, earlier they could not identify. Because of Python programmers, they may be patenting many more things over there. So just like that. So we are using about print of values because to print the text data. So if you want to store it to text data, to_CSV while function we will use to store the values also. If everything is possible, later we will see about that. Now, a df was printed. Similarly, count how many price will be there, mean, maximum. Okay, see what I'm giving price. Price mean. It is a statistical function directly I'm using. So why? Because I just imported through pandas, it will be a data frame. So I don't want to call any other statistical function as numpy, etc. Nothing I want to come, since it was imported through as a data frame through pandas. Okay, no problem. Directly I can use. Finding the maximum, which price is maximum, what will be the standard deviation of this price, everything was displayed here. Shall I execute this program? Yes, it's executed. Oh yeah, completed. So whenever executing, it will be showing this black. After executing, again the circle will be there. Now the data from in the text format it will be there. You can copy, and if you put in any type of this one, you can copy as a text data. And if I print this df, what will happen? I can print df also. See, we don't want any other format to print the value in Python. Directly as a variable, like we can print. Okay, so df. It's, I don't know what way it's not printed. Okay, data format only. Okay, no problem. Later we'll see. So so this EF will be stored that I'll use here 1 minute. I will use. Yes. This is the data already again we have printed. That's what it was not done. So now you see this will be an image format. Separately will be there. But if you check here, it will be the text format. It will be here. It will be the text selected like this. Now this will be not like that. It will be an image format. It will be selected. Okay, the color, etc. Everything will be there. Count will be 5, and what is the mean? It was given. What is the maximum price? It was given. What is the standard deviation? Standard deviation is given. Similarly, if you want to find the covariance, all these functions, it is possible to find. Say why I loaded this at TF in the sense automatically stored in the memory. We can easily find out all those values from the memory also. Okay, so that will be one of the specification. Okay, similarly another CSV file, how to read as a CSV file. So one example I created here. Okay, for the statistical data we can calculate so many statistical information will be there. So how to find out the rank, etc. Some values will be there. Okay, so you see here, just I print the value of EF And now if you print the value of DF, the value will be changed. This value, that is the product sales dot CSV. I already have a value, read underscore CSV, directly we use read underscore Excel, in the sense XLX format we had to use, right? You already known about that. So based on this, we will find these values. Okay, just I'll read. If you want to find any, functions, okay, what is that? It will be in the data format now. If you want to create a definition for the mean, okay, whatever I used earlier, you just copy it here and find the value. Very simple. Okay, so like that we can do it also. Next function, I'll go ahead with the next function. I thought I should show you how to generate the data also, but now one more information I will show you. If you want to find only about the even number, the median. What is this median? Median, normally the formula will be n plus 1 divided by 2. So median, normally the input was given as the sorted order, and just if 10 numbers will be there, 10 plus 1 divided by 2, 5.5, that will be the median. If you round off this value 6, it will be the median, median. What will be the mode? Even the mode of 5, 7, 8, etc. Some values are there. The mode value, how will you find out the mode value? Mode value, always how many numbers, okay, maximum number of count it is present, that will be called mode value. Okay, if time permits, I will tell you. Now I'll just run this example of this median file. So just what will be the order? You see here, what will be the order? So the value will be 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, and 15. So these many values will be there. So normal formula we will apply and we will use over here. So this is this is the median of even numbers. This is the program for the median of I see somewhere, I saw somewhere, it is even number, median of even number. What is this even number? I will show here itself. What will be this even number? It was given. It will find this value. What will be the even numbers available? You check here. This is normal, this median will be, that is n plus 1 divided by 2. So 0.5 factors will be there for the median. So it was multiplied with the 0.5 factor, but whatever value we are finding, the even numbers 2 plus 10 divided by 2. What is the value? N plus 1 divided by 2. That is 2 plus 10 divided by 2. What will be the value? So we can tell that is n will be 10. Okay, otherwise you add these two values and find the value. So we will get the value. Similarly, odd numbers, it was given. Odd numbers, it was given. So what will be the answer for these odd numbers? You see here. So the next value. So find the odd numbers. 3, 5, 7, 15, etc. Odd numbers. Okay, so these values. Now 15. That means we find out as -1. Okay, no problem. Divided by 2. Okay, so this will be giving the value. That 0.5 is just as divided by 2. Okay, by 2 will be the value of 0.5. So we will be getting the value of median. And another one, mode. I'll just show you the mode value. Okay, so how it will be calculated. The mode value, quickly I'll go ahead. Here, this is the mode value. You see the count of these numbers. Count of these numbers will be, so first what it will fetch, 4 items it will fetch, and just the count function will be fetched. Okay, even a lengthy function. So it will, how many numbers will be repeated? 2, maximum count will be repeated for 2. So your mode will be, what will be the value? Now round the value, mode will be 2. If shall I increase the value 8, 8, shall I increase the value? Check here, mode will be 8. Shall I increase the value of 3, 3, 3. So just what will be the mode value? So you should know about that. Mode value, always the numbers, okay, of maximum count. Number of maximum count will be the mode value. Okay, so next of mode will be here itself. I'll tell you. Next one, variance and all, we had checked about the variance. Next, correlation between the pair of data. So how to identify the correlation? So that we need to identify. So there are 3 types of correlation will be there. What is called one is called positive correlation. Whenever any input of larger value of x will be there, it will result in larger value. It will be called positive correlation. It will be, moves towards the direction of positive. Normally, the values will be lies between minus 0.5 to 0.5. That will normally hypothesis test we will be accepting like that, hypothesis. Okay. Similar negative correlation, if the input is larger and if the corresponding, smaller values of y, if you produce, it will be called negative correlation. And the third correlation, it will be weak correlation, otherwise called as, no correlation. That means no value will be existing over there. Okay, that will be the correlation value. If the correlation is positive, you should know this concept. If the correlation is positive, covariance will be positive. If the correlation is negative, your covariance is negative. Covariance you identify, what will be the value of this covariance? Already I told the formula about that. Similarly, that means sigma divided by x bar, into 100. Another one, correlation is weak. If it is positive means covariance positive. Negative means covariance negative. If the correlation is weak, sir, it will be near to zero, sir. Zero. So not here or there. Okay, etc. It will be coming over there. Now some examples. I'll just tell you the examples. It will be calculating a Pearson's coefficient, correlation coefficient for the data. Now roll number of students was given like this. This many roll number of students was given. And marks in statistics, marks in accountants, some subject. Okay, just randomly we taken some subject. Okay, etc. The marks was given for these students of these roll number of students. 5 students we have taken, or even student name also you can take. Now, how to find the correlation we need to find. Normally, the correlation function will be the square root of summation of x y divided by summation of square root of summation of x square into summation of y square. That will be the formula we will use. Maybe in the below it will, here you find the value. So first I will show the formula. After that, summation of x y divided by the square root of summation of x square into summation of square root of the same square root of summation of y square. Okay, summation of x y. First we need to find the value of x y. Right. So one is enough. Now you see here what will be the value. I'll show you here. 1 minute. I'll make it bigger. Okay. Now x is the data given. Y is the data given. X is one subject. 5 students are there. One subject. Accountancy, let us assume that x. Statistics, let us assume that y. Same input I copied here. Understand? Same input I copied here. I'll make it bigger. Yes. Okay. Now I'll find the value of small x. Already I teach you the small x value. So for variance itself, we find the value x minus mean. With small x, always x minus mean the whole square. So you know what will be the mean of this value. So find the mean of this value. Okay, minus this one. The total will be 170. It was given in the diagram itself. It was given the figure. That is the Excel data itself. It was given. The first value will be 170. The summation. The mean will be divided by 5. So 170 divided by 34. So 48 minus 34. We will be getting 14. Similarly, we find x minus mean the whole square. It will be called small x. Similarly, can you find the value of y? Similarly, we will find the y value. Okay, what will be the y value? Now, multiply the x into y value. After finding the value of x into y, we will get some answers. Okay, after finding x into y, we will get some answers. That should be summation for finding the correlation. Summation of x into y, the whole divided by summation of root of a small x square and y square. So later we will find the small x square. What is summation of x square? So can you make a square of these values? So we will get the value about that. Similarly, can we make the value of that means square of these values? That will be the value summation of y square and summation of x square. So now you see mean value was identified. So next is summation of xy was identified as 280 x into y. Some value will be having negative also. While multiplying the value, we will get these values. Okay. Similarly, summation of y square. What is x square? Y square x small x, that means x minus capital X minus mean, mean, it will be small x. So that x square will be what value? Square the value. So negative becomes positive and we will add all the value. That is the summation. So we find the value. Now we will use the formula for the correlation, or it will be given as, what is the value? You check here. 2 I'll make it smaller. Okay. Yeah, 280 divided by square root of some value. Now you see what will be the correlation. We will get the value. What is that, 0.42 something, we will be getting. And through Python code also, we can execute this value. Okay, through Python code also, we can execute this value. How I am executed, you see, first subject mark, second subject mark. I just put the data set. So first variable of 0, row of 0, it will be first subject mark. Row of 1 will be second subject mark. Just I'll execute this, values. Similarly, in your class also, if you want to find any correlation, okay, you can easily find out these values. Okay, so just I use these values. So I'm getting the same value. I'm not printed any other value. Just if I want to print the value of x and y, you can print the value. So that separately we will print. So, okay. So you find the value of, what is the value? So I use the formula. You know the formula. Okay. Mean will be sum of x divided by sum. It is the function we will be using here. Sum of x divided by n. Sum of y. N will be length of x. Directly I use the value. So divided by n minus 1. Covariance. We find the covariance of these values. Okay, and we find out all the value. What is x into y? So x into y in the sense, first covariance value, that means small x into small x into small y. So small x is capital X minus mean, and similarly y in the sense capital. That 2 was multiplied. That 2 was multiplied. Find this value. Similarly, square root of some value. Square root in the sense we can tell in terms of standard deviation. So variance we will get, standard deviation we will identify. So that function we will be getting like that. Okay, that will be called the correlation. Similarly, we will go ahead, okay, with the functions. Okay, okay, I have not given function. You can try out with function also, no problem. Another one, rank correlation. Another one, it is based on rank correlation. How to find the rank of these values? If you want to find the rank of the value, so based on the status, okay, well, next time we can check. So he is number 1. Next time, who will be number 1? So easily we can take the value. So rank correlation was used. Okay, just we will be using the function 1 minus 6 into summation t square divided by n cube minus n. Okay, that will be the value. Let us assume there's 2 subjects will be given. So 10 students was given. So first student initially 3rd rank and 6th rank. That means student A. Another time in statistics he given. So another time he was getting like this. Okay, so during auditing, the rank of 10 students was given like this. Okay, the first student rank and second student rank, third student rank, fourth student rank, etc. Something was given. Now, how to find out the correlation? It is called rank correlation. 1 minus summation of that t square divided by n cube minus n. I told So how to find out? How to audit this information? Even in the correlation, if you want to use, let us assume R1 it's a first subject. R2 it will be another student. That means another subject of the student. Now initially 10 students. First student was ranked 3 and 6. Now what will be the D? D value will be R1 minus R2 is the difference value. So you can find the value of D square. While squaring, all negative will gone. So we will find the value summation of D square as, okay, summation of D square as 214. Now the formula states that rank to be identified as 1 minus, what will be the value? 1 minus 6 into summation D square for finding the rank divided by n cube minus n. So n cube minus n. So 6 into 214 divided by n cube minus n. So what will be the value? Output value, we will be getting the value as, what is that? We are getting the value minus 0.297. See, you see all the value, most of the values will be within 0.5 to minus 0.5, etc. Some values will be coming. If more values are generated, it may not be the correct answer for you. Okay, so just the same rank correlation was executed here. Now I'll just put the value here, rank correlation. Okay, and I'm executing this value. What will be the output? Same output whether we are getting what is there. Okay, the earlier value. So we are getting some output there, so same value we will be getting here. I shown somewhere where I shown here. Yes, minus 0.27. Even direct calculation leads to the same value, and other values also it will be like that. Now similarly, I want to tell you this. I'll conclude by this function. Okay, so we can use correlation through statistical function also. You should know about that. Through statistical function also, it is possible to find the correlation. You see here, what statistical function, numpy, pandas, all those things we can use. Even you can graph it. Okay, you can graph it. Matplotlib. You can graph it, plot the value, show the value, display the value. All series we can easily find out these values. So normally, if you want to bring out all the series in one scene, okay, it may not be possible. It may be possible, but different categories of coding should be written. Otherwise, through so many other programs will be that Microsoft contains different packages, Power BI, etc. Through that directly we can put it as a desktop information. What will be the status today? What is the share market tomorrow? What will be the what is the prediction, etc. We can check. So one thing you see, X and Y, the same input was given here. Okay, with the ranks, different ranks, first student, second student, etc. Now I create a definition like Pearson's something, the function way of, because these functions will be based on this series function. Okay, so in the definition itself, I found out the value, that is the pandas dot series of x's. Okay, so what will be the value of x's? It is the input value of x. What is y as input value of y? So what it identifies, it will be identifies as a rank. It will identify as a, so through this panda series, okay, I'll be fetching as a rank function, and I'm processing this function. After fetching this rank function, I'm returning to, okay, this SCI Python, okay, with the statistical value, Pearson or function I called, okay, and through calling this function is very, very important. So while calling this function, pass the value of X series and Y series. X series value as X rank, Y series value as Y rank, pass the value of the statistic, automatically it will return the value. See, I use a function only to fetch these two data. After passing this function, automatically I'll be getting the value. Okay, after Python code was executed.
Manopaul.
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Manopaul, last
Yes, sir.
2 minutes.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So while executing this value, so we are getting the same result. You see here, earlier while I'm executing this value, while I'm executing a value, I'll be getting 0.2969, etc. Now also we are getting the same value. Okay, this will be executed through your Python code, and other one will be executed by normally. Okay, by this, I need to conclude. Okay, some other information will be there. So I'll share those files to you. So really, I'm thanking to Professor Dr. Ravi sir, senior professor of IT department of FX College of Engineering, FX Engineering College. I'm thanking you, sir, for giving opportunity, to share my views about statistical data. As well as I'm thanking other HODs of CSE HOD, madam, as well as IT HOD, Subbalakshmi madam. I'm thanking for giving an opportunity to share over here. Thank you, sir. Any queries in the sense, please ask.
Thank you for wonderful presentation. Audience, any question, please ask. Otherwise, morning we will wind up first session. Okay, Manopaul, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you. God bless you, all the participants.